Well, guys, the Nasdaq is now officially in correction territory, which is 10% down from its all-time high of around 20,200. It got as low as 18,000 and change. Now, the market is still open as I record this, but the Nasdaq has plummeted. The Dow has plummeted. Everyone's talking about tariffs. You know our belief in this. If you're new to the channel, our belief is that's just the excuse given right now. Whenever the market falls down, and by the way, it doesn't mean that things could be going lower because of what is happening in the economy. But guys, look at the history of the stock market. Go back 70, 80 years, 150 years. How many awful things have happened? Terrible things, way worse than tariffs. And by the way, President Trump just released a statement today about how he had an agreement with the Mexican president about delaying tariffs until April 2nd on certain goods. Guys, valuations what drive things in the long run. And right now, valuations are very high for the entire market, especially for a lot of very high market cap businesses. You know, in our main channel, we did a video where I created my own Magnificent Seven and put it against the Magnificent Seven from January 1st. And we're going to keep track of this going forward. You might want to pay attention to it because it's off to a rip-roaring start. That doesn't mean that's going to be it forever. In the short run, stocks are a voting machine. In the long run, they're a weighing machine. What that means is what's popular now will go up, what's not popular will go down. But in the long run, the weighing machine, the fundamentals behind the business, how much cash does it generate? How good is its balance sheet? How fast can it grow its cash flow? Those are the things that will drive the values. Now, guys, the volatility index, the VIX, is up to 25 today, which shows a lot more volatility than the past. The 52-week low is about 10, which is extremely low. The historical average is 19. So it's not very far off from its historical average. I also saw that a lot of retail investors are very pessimistic about the market right now. Okay, does that mean the market's going to keep going up? I have no idea. I do know that retail investors tend to get a little frustrated. I was just today I'm in Georgia at a house that I own, and I was doing an order for something, and the manager of the store was telling me how bad the stock market's been lately. And I kind of chuckled and said, "Yeah, it's been pretty bad." How bad is it? I mean, it's down a couple percentage points this year, a few percentage points. That's not bad. If you believe 2 or 3% down is bad, that just shows us where we are in the market. The fact that people can really be fearful of a few percentage points down, that could be considered a great sale. That's not a great sale. We still have valuations at all-time highs. Literally, I mean, besides like 1928, 1929, and you saw what happened there. At the end of the day, every investment is the present value of all the future cash flows it generates. The more you pay, the less return you make, the less you pay, the more higher your return is. That's just math. There's nothing to it besides that. Now, Nvidia has taken quite the hit lately, and now I'm starting to see murmurs of, is maybe Nvidia not the top? It's like, guys, Nvidia is an incredible business. It's an absolutely incredible company and business, and I imagine it'll be around for a very, very long period of time. But one of the major pillars, the fourth pillar of our 5 pillars of principle-driven investing, is that a great story can become a bad investment if you pay the wrong price. And I believe that there's a lot of optimism built in Nvidia's price. Does that mean it won't continue to go up? No, this could be a blip on the radar. Let me show you what I mean. So guys, if you look at this screen right here, this is me on Twitter. And by the way, if you like to engage on Twitter, if you like to see, I make a lot of comments. I love putting polls up. This is a poll I did the other day about, is this current decline in the market start of a bear market or on its way up to a new high? And after 395 votes in a 12-hour period, 51 point some percent think it's a bear market. The other half think you're on the way to new highs. I don't know what's going to happen. I just want to get the sentiment of people out there are thinking. Now, keep in mind, most of the followers on Twitter are people who are students of our channel, and they're probably a little more conservative and they realize certain things. But in the short run, we have no idea. There could still be a lot of momentum out there for new highs. Heck, if I had $1 for every single time I thought we were going to a bear market, I'd have a lot more dollars than I do today. So it's the things to keep in mind. But eventually there will be a bear market. And eventually we will mean revert back in terms of valuations. What does that mean? Well, we're 100 and some percent above historical average for both the stock market GDP ratio and the 10-year cyclically adjusted PE ratio. By all means, if you're watching right now and you follow me on Twitter and you're going to actively follow me on Twitter, go in there and make a comment. I love hearing people's thoughts on what could drive it up. You know, AI could be a leader. I mean, we don't know what's going to happen for AI in terms of generating profit for a lot of people. My guess is a company like Nvidia dominates early. Other people are later to get in the game, but once that happens, margins will contract a little bit. Remember, Nvidia's margins went from low 60s to mid to high 70s. That's a big jump in gross margin. Is that sustainable? I don't know. It all depends on so many factors. But you saw a company like Alibaba that was left for dead a year ago and now is over double the price it was in the last year and a half, 2 years. Is that permanent? I don't know. But it could be the start of a bull bear market for China stocks. All I know is that relative to the rest of the world, US stocks are very, very, very expensive. Doesn't mean you can't make a lot of money. I always use this example. If you dollar cost averaged into the Nasdaq at the very peak of March 2000, it went on to lose 83% over the next 2 years, or 80%, something absurd. And if you dollar cost average all along the way until today, you made almost 15% annualized return on your money. If the Nasdaq were to fall 50% today, you'd still be over 10% return on your money for buying high quality businesses. So that's the key. If you stick with your dollar cost averaging to hit your goals, once your goals are met and you're on pace for your goals, take a little extra money, learn how to buy individual companies if you have the stomach for it and you're okay looking wrong in the short run, because that's what really drives values in the long run. What's going to happen in this market? I have no idea. Anybody who says otherwise is a fucking liar. Do not listen to them. What I do believe, though, is there's a lot of noise out there. News follows the stock price. As stock price fall, they're going to say the news, this is what's causing it. Might be, but it's not for the long run, because look how many horrible things have had happen in the last 150 years. It doesn't last forever. And as stocks go up, hear all the positive news about that. When Intel was up to $26 a share or so recently, people were saying Intel's amazing, it's great, it's back to $20 a share. Oh my God, Intel's going to screw up. It's like, okay, who knows what's going to happen? There are so many things. That's why buying good companies, great companies at great prices is very, very effective for the long run. And we're here to teach that entire process. And finally, my good friend, cryptocurrency, Bitcoin. It's well below its all-time highs, definitely in correction, almost bear territory currently. It got in the bear territory, but it's been very, very volatile. So those of you who love crypto and think it's the replacement for fiat currency, is this how you want your currency to be acting? Where you buy something today, you get 1 Bitcoin for it, and the next day it could be 20% less, or the next week or month it could be 20% less. I don't know about that. Go look at the history of countries that have that kind of volatility in their currency. Probably not a very good country. But again, I've said 1,000 times, I don't think crypto works in its current form. And when I see these crypto bros all arguing about which crypto is the legitimate one, I always joke and say it's, like OJ criticizing Charles Manson for being a murderer or something like that. They're all just a bunch of idiots fighting with each other. So guys, follow me on Twitter at @EMPaulG. And if you want to join a wonderful community with wonderful software that'll make your life more profitable, easier to live with, and surround yourself by like-minded individuals, join our community, everythingmoney.com. Try it out. It's $7 for 7 days on one condition. You only sign up if you're a serious investor who's in it for the long run. If you just want people to hand you stocks to buy, please don't sign up. We don't want you in there. Thank you very much for your time.